Hello everyone, this is Manish. If you wanted to troubleshoot the application deployment issue and understand the log files and the workflow, you need to watch this video. I'm going to provide the things in a easy to understand manner where I'm going to cover three topics. Number one, the log files involved for the application deployment. Second, the workflow. I'm going to show you the flowchart that how the things are working. And third is I will be going to give you a demo by deploying a very basic application to see that what log files we have to look into it and what are the key areas, means the important things which can help us analyze the troubleshooting for the application deployment. Let's begin. So we are going to discuss about the track application deployment through client log flow. Let's discuss about the list of log files. There are few important log files for the application deployment, which are PolicyAgent, AppEnforce, AppDiscovery, AppIntentEval, CAS, Content Transfer Manager in Data Transfer Services. I will be explaining you in detail that how this log files looks like. And these are not the only log files. There are a few other log files as well related to CCMexec. As you can see on the screen, I am not going to repeat what is written on the screen. But I would say the most important major log files are what you see on the left hand side, from policy agent to data transfer services. I'm not saying the log files on that right hand side are not important, but majority of time, 80 to 90% of time, you will be focusing on majorly on the log files on the left hand side. So I will be focusing on these log files, which are pretty much very important. Okay, so before understanding the showing you the flowchart, let's understand that what each log file means. The first log file is policy agent. This log file is pretty much very important if you are deploying an application, and if you wanted to see that the policy of that application has been downloaded to that device or not, you have to look for the policy agent. It will download the policy related to the application. The second log file is AppEnforce. I would say this AppEnforce log file is a master log file which contains information related to each and every step of the application. For example, the application, that whether application got discovered or not, and then it will be showing us that it got downloaded, then the execution, and finally it will show you the completion of the application. But this AppEnforce.log itself is not sufficient enough to provide you the detailed information. It relies on so many other components. One of the component is AppDiscovery.log. This is the one of the most important log file, I would say, because this is the log file which shows about the discovery of an application. Application deployment is so beautiful that it will not trigger the application until unless the discovery is not done. For example, if app discovery component will try to discover the application, if application is already there, it will never target. So in AppEnforce, you will not be able to see anything. So discovery is a very important step. I will be showing in a flowchart very soon. Another log file is AppIntentEval. This AppIntentEval has several purposes. One of the purposes is to check the current state of the application. It works all together with the AppDiscovery and AppEnforce. So it will check whether the application is present or not, and it will also look for the dependency and the supersedence. And this information will be passed back to the AppDiscovery and back to the AppEnforce. Okay, so AppEnforce, once the discovery and everything is done, AppEnforce has to execute the application. But to execute the application, it need a content. So CAS.log, that content access component, comes into play. AppEnforce will be handing over the job to content access, and content access CAS.log has two jobs to do. Number one, to locate the content, I would say find the content, and second is download the content. An easy way if I can say is look for the DP, and the second job is download from the DP. So CAS first job, look for the DP, will be done through the location services. So location services is a log which will find the DP and locate the content. So location services is not just related to finding the DP, it also looks for the MP as well, but our focus here is about DP. Second component for the CAS was Content Transfer Manager. So Content Transfer Manager will download the content. As we already have the location of the DP, now it will download the content. The real downloading of content doesn't happen through the Content Transfer Manager. Data Transfer Services component will come into picture, which will download the content through the bits. This is all the log file, the most important log files. Now let's look for the flowchart, workflow, how it works. You can see in the figure, I have covered all the log files, what is the flow. At, at first glance, if you look into it, it might look complex if you are not aware of it, but I will be making it in a very simple to understand manner. Let's go. As I told you previously, PolicyAgent.log, this is the first important log file which I will be looking into it to see whether the application has downloaded or not. And application, how to find the application, what is the application ID, I will be giving you a demo on that. But for during meanwhile, just understand that PolicyAgent, we have to search for the application just to see application is there, downloaded or not. Once it is discovered, once PolicyAgent work is done, AppDiscovery will come into picture. I told you that AppEnforce will not be the first log file. AppDiscovery, it will try to discover the log file. For example, if application 7-zip, right? I'm giving an example. 7-zip, whether it's present or not. So AppDiscovery will check that application 7-zip. If it is not there, then only the execution is going to happen. So once AppDiscovery work is done, AppIntentEval will again doing a few other stuff related to the supersedence, and the AppIntentEval will be doing few other things as well related to that, checking the application status, the supersedence, and other required components. Once this information is completed, it will be passing on that information to the AppEnforce. So now AppEnforce knows about that the application needs to be installed. It will be handing over the job to the CAS. That boss, CAS, you go and download the content to me. CAS itself is, I would say, that is not capable enough to download. I'm just explaining you in a metaphor manner that lazy guy, he doesn't want to download the content on its own. He needs to subordinate. So it will be creating two jobs. One job, find DP. Second job, download from DP. To find a DP, the CAS is going to create a job for location services to locate the content. So it will be going to create a locate request, and it will be passed on to the LocationServices.log. Location services will show you the list of all MP and DP. Once the list of DP is available, it will be handing over the information to the CAS, that now I have a list of DP. CAS, now you can go and perform the second activity. The second job is to download from the DP, because first job is done. We located the DP. It will download from the DP, and for that it is going to create a CTM job. A new request will be created which will be called a CTM job, and that will be transferred to the ContentTransferServices.log. Content transfer services is a component which will be, this log file is going to capture all the information related to the content transfer service, means downloading of the content. Content transfer services itself is not going to download the content, though the information will be visible over here for downloading the content, but rather it is going to create another job that is called DTS job, Data Transfer Services job. So that job you can be seen under the DataTransferServices.log. Once the data is downloaded through bits, that information will be transferred back to the content transfer services, that I did my job, DT's job is done. So here is the status, download successful. Then content transfer CTM job will revert back to the CAS that the content has been downloaded, and it will report back to the CAS that boss, the content is also downloaded. So now everything is there. Now CAS is also going to provide that information to the AppEnforce that everything is downloaded. Now you are good to execute the application. Hence, finally, AppEnforce is going to execute the application, and based upon the success or failure, you will be able to get the result in AppEnforce. So this is how the complete flowchart of the application deployment in easy to understand manner. So let's begin a demo. I have logged on to the SCCM server. For the demonstration purpose, I am picking easy to understand application that is 7-zip. So it doesn't take time, within few seconds it can get installed. So but the process will be same for any other application. So the important thing what you need to make note of it before troubleshooting is that while you look for the application, enable the CI unique ID. If you are not able to see that, right click and click on CI unique ID. By clicking on CI unique ID, you will be able to see the scope ID underscore big name, and after that application underscore 499D5 means it is going to be unique number for the application. So I'm interested only for this portion, application underscore 499DD950. So this is for this application. So it will be different for in your case. Another thing is I'm going to look for the deployment type, because in one application you have multiple deployment types. For example, for 32-bit or for 64-bit, there could be 2 or 3 multiple deployment types. So if you have multiple ones, so I would say just click on deployment type. Once you look over here on the deployment type, just try to make a note of the deployment, that content ID, that content underscore 106A917E in my case. So for me, these two information will be the most important thing for me when troubleshooting the things. So I have already deployed this application to the device. You can see the device over here. And let's look into it now. I have logged on to Windows 10 device. So now I'm going to initiate the machine policy. So I'm launching the configuration manager properties actions, and I'm going to initiate the machine policy. Before that, let me open the command prompt, because this is going to be pretty much very handy. I like this feature so that I can share with you. So I told you about the application. So my application was showing as 499DD950, if you correctly remember. So let me try to find this information in log file. Okay, so find str command is a very good command. Find str is a command which is a very good command. If you just make a note of it, find str /l/m/s and look for any character, and finally star.log. So it is going to find that application CI unique ID in all the logs. I'm pressing enter, so you can see this application information is not available in any log files. Same way, I have another. I'm going to find another. I'm going to find the content as well. So find str /l/m/s content underscore, that ID of the content ID, star.log. Nothing is there, right? So let's initiate the machine policy. It will take a couple of seconds. Once the policy is downloaded, as it's a required application installation will trigger in, and application will be available on the device. But using that command prompt, I can easily find the list of log files which are applicable. So this command prompt is eventually very much helpful when I am looking for an application, just to make sure, when I am in a hurry, just to verify whether that application information is present on that device or not. That makes my life pretty much very easy. So let's see that. I hope the things would be downloaded and something would be in progress. So meanwhile, let me just try to initiate machine policy one more time. Okay, so now you can see application got installed successfully. So no software changes are required. Application is available, so the installation will be done pretty much very soon. So you can see that now I'm getting the information that so many log files are showing that the application information is here. You can see installation completed. And if I look for the content, you can see the content information is also available in few of the most important log files: AppDiscovery, CAS, Content Transfer Manager, Data Transfer Services. So this is not a troubleshooting, just wanted to show you that you can find the information, how we can easily find the information that which log files are involved related to the application and deployment. Now let me open the log file. Okay, so as I told you, the very first log file I'm going to look into it is PolicyAgent. Here I'm going to find the information of my application. Let's see. Control F, 499DD950. That is the CI unique ID. If I look over here, I can see the policy download succeeded. Then policy ID, reevaluating, so raising event. So I can see that a lot of information related to the application is there. So it seems that the application download was completed. So you can see that policy agent, policy evaluation complete. So that is an indication that the application download succeeded. I'm going to look for another log file. As I told you, AppEnforce is the master log file. It is going to contain all the information related to the application. So if I go over here, today's date and time. You can see the important thing, starting installation enforcement for the application 7-zip 22.01. So the first thing is that it showed me that MSI application not discovered. So AppEnforce got this information from AppDiscovery. I will momentarily going to show that AppDiscovery as well. So once that information was available, then the command line got prepared. The content is also available. That is because of CAS and Content Transfer Manager. And finally, the execution, that complete command line you can see over here, that is executed. So from which location, what is the location from where the content is executing, for example, CCM cache 3. So I'm able to find that information as well. Yes, the content was present. I can see over there. And finally, I got exit code 0. Exit code 0 means success. The application got installed successfully. Once the installation was done, finally again the discovery ran and it is showing as discovered MSI application. Application will only be considered as success once it is installed and discovered. If both the parameters are matching, then in SCCM application, I mean to say in SCCM portal, console or report, you will be able to see a success. So now I'm going to show you about app discovery. Let's have a look into the AppDiscovery.log. App discovery. Just see the most important thing. MSI application not discovered. So application was not discovered initially. MSI application not discovered, did not detect app deployment type. So I can see the result, what exactly it is showing in app discovery. And that information is passed back to the AppEnforce. Same way, AppIntentEval. AppIntentEval is also another log file which is also going to show you about the status of the application, that what was the status. For example, you can see the deployment type, the application deployment type, current state is showing as not installed, applicability, applicable. It means yes, this application is required but currently not installed. So at later stage, once the installation was done, app discovery, AppIntentEval again come into picture, and it is showing as the current state is showing as installed and applicability is showing as applicable. For downloading location services, as I told you that the job number 1 for the CAS.log. I think before location services, let me show you the CAS.log. CAS, the content access. AppEnforce has to create the content access job, and it is going to create 2 jobs. One is for the location services. So if I look over here in CAS.log, the first information I will be getting related to the content. Received request for content. So content underscore 106A. I told you that the content information is also important. So it got the information of the content through location services. And once it is done, it created a CTM job. If I look for CTM job, it is showing as CTM job submitted. So it has submitted a CTM job to download the content. So job number 1, find the content. Job number 2, download the content. And it is showing as because of location services, it's showing as the content is available on 1DP, and based upon that, it is showing as the content is downloading, and finally the content is available in CCM cache 3. So this is what we found in AppEnforce. So we can see we got the confirmation that the content got downloaded. But CAS is just providing a summary of everything. It is not actually doing the job. I will show you location services, which actually did the job to find the content. Okay, in location services, the most important thing which for me, which I will always look into it for, the list of distribution points. Calling back with the following distribution points, I can see that 2 distribution points are available for this content. So location services job is done, that it provided the list of DPs, distribution point. Content Transfer Manager. This is important log file which will show you the downloading status of the content. So here, if I look into it, created CTM job. So this CTM job was created by the CAS. CAS created the job for the Content Transfer Manager, and it is showing you that the complete downloading status, that from where exactly it is downloading. It is showing as the download content process. The content job is processing, preparing download, downloading data, from where it is downloading, and finally download got completed. Download completed. So as I told you, that Content Transfer Manager is not the real log file which is doing the job of downloading. You have to look into the data transfer services to find the actual download. So data transfer, so Content Transfer Manager and data transfer services, probably majority of time you might be seeing some kind of similar things of downloading, but it is much more in a granular way in data transfer services, because this is the component which is responsible for downloading. You can see over here that pending download, retrieving data from where exactly. So it is contacting the web IS server location for that DP, and finally the download gets completed. I can see over here that the URL, the exact URL of the DP along with the SMS underscore DP underscore SMS PKG $SCCM content. So all this information, once it is downloaded, it will be handed over to the AppEnforce, and finally AppEnforce will execute and installation will be completed. I hope you would be able to understand that what exactly is the logic of installing the application. If you are interested in watching more videos, please subscribe and like the video. Thank you.